But first, let's talk about what's hot now.
She was in the makeup room, and this is the only time really on the show I've been starstruck.
Yeah, she's...
I didn't even know what to say, and I was kind of like sitting there. I just said it was a pleasure to meet you.
Yeah,
so.
And she's the most generous person. You give her a compliment, and she just sort of deflects it and wants to talk about you.
Yeah.
She sees the beauty in everybody, and she's got that life force spirit. In fact, I've got to ask her about this. When I went to interview her back in 2013, the doctors were amazed at how well she was doing. They said, we're going to use her as a case study to see about positivity and illness and whether just having a positive outlook can make such a difference. Yeah. And if that's the case, it sure has with her. We love you. All right. Interesting story to start us out. A mother was so outraged over her 12-year-old son's bullying incident at school that she took to Facebook to actually shame him for it. She even tagged him. And the post, which has gone viral, has people talking. The mother, a single mom, posted the following about her son. This is what she wrote. Absolutely disgusted that my 12-year-old son saw fit to purposely tread on a new girl's foot at school and twist his foot with such force it broke her brand new shoes, causing the heel to snap. And then she added a warning for her son. If you so much as breathe in her or anyone's direction in a bullying manner, I will personally hand you over to their parents for every demeaning chore they see fit for as long as they do. Okay, now this went viral. She has removed it because it went viral. She didn't mean for that to happen, but she did want to humiliate her son, teach him a lesson. Some say it's effective. Others say, you know what? She should not have done that in such a public way. What do you guys feel?
I like that she got upset with her son. A lot of parents don't get involved. I like that she was upset. The thing I do not like is that she publicly shamed him. She sort of bullied him herself on public and social media.
But that way he gets to feel what it's like. No, but that way he gets to feel what it's like to be bullied. You understand?
But
because he shouldn't have done that.
No, but there are other ways she could have handled it. I mean, she didn't intend for it to go viral.
Right.
She tagged him because she wanted his friends to read it as well, to learn a lesson.
I understand what she wanted to do, and I can't judge anyone for their parenting skills. I would have maybe handled it in the house first. If it happened again, then I would publicly shame him.
Really?
But yeah, I would, because I think, like, if you stole a piece of candy at a grocery store and then your mom brought you back to the grocery store and you had to tell everyone, I stole this piece of candy.
I wouldn't publicly shame him on the internet. I might say, we're going to this little girl's house now. You're going to confess to the parents what you did, and then in class you're going to talk about it.
Yeah, I would have done that, but I can't judge her.
We talk about this all the time. You know, you tell your kids, don't post things that you don't want people to see on the internet, because on the internet, things live forever. It's going to be with him for a long time. And like Megan said, I appreciate the intention, and I think she was right to get angry and do something and say, hey, don't do this again or it's going to get worse. But putting it on the internet, I mean, she put her kid on blast, It's like, you don't do that.
I still think he should be put on blast. I don't know why there's so much sympathy for him. He seems to have done something that was very violent, and maybe this is the way that he needs to learn.
Maybe it's a 12-year-old boy. I don't know that that's the best way to learn.
Especially when it comes to women and men and how, teaching little boys right now, you don't disrespect women like that. It sounds very vicious what he did.
But Mom could do that personally with him.
Well, I don't think it's any different than when you're out in public and you do something, your parents go, I told you not to do that. That's still public. It's just
it's not in that big of a forum.
Well, and here's the thing that really gets under my nerve. I've been trying to go viral with my cats for the longest. I don't understand how people keep going viral with these other things.
Just shame them. Shame them.
Yes, exactly. Shame the kitties.
Other cat and then do a shame off.
Okay, that's what I'll do.
All right. Put the signs around the pets.
Yeah, exactly. Let's move on. We know about lawsuits. We've heard of so many different kinds of lawsuits. This is the first of its kind to go to trial. A law school student who graduated at the very top of her class is suing her former law school because she says she has yet to find a full-time salaried job as a lawyer since graduating in 2008 from the Thomas Jefferson School of Law. Now, she argues in her case that the law school inflated the employment data for its graduates, saying that they placed many more students than they did, and she would not have enrolled there if she had known the statistics were misleading. She is seeking $125,000 in damages. Wow. And the case is going to court. What do you make of it?
I get what she's saying. It's false advertising. But here's the little caveat to that story. She was offered a job, correct?
Yes.
For $60,000.
When she graduated.
When she graduated, she did not take the job. Well, they did their due diligence. They got her a job.
Right,
I mean,
I agree.
and she was being picky on what kind of job it was.
Well, she didn't think it was enough money compared to other
it's a
jobs.
job.
I agree.
It's a slippery slope, and we're starting to be able to sue our own schools for not getting the job we want.
But then schools shouldn't advertise on the other that we guarantee.
I mean, it's true, and I would like to know how misleading this was. Was it inflated by just a
Well, it's misleading enough
or...
that she's got a case, clearly.
Well, I mean, first of all, is she her own lawyer? Because she could just hire herself, and that's a job right there. That's number one.
Let me say
I should be a lawyer.
If she can win that case, she'll get hired. Yeah, that's brilliant.
But I don't see as a negative thing that she didn't take her first job offer that was handed to her, because, you know, if she was at the top of her class, you know, you want to hold out for a better offer. You don't take the first thing that comes out.
Yeah,
You
but
want
when
to
you're
see
starting out,
what
you
you're
start
worth
small.
it.
And
Well, that
then
was the first time she was out. I think if she had known down the line it's going to be 10 years until I get a job, then she probably would have snatched that up.
And also, to some people, $60,000 a year is a lot of money. So, you know, that's not. It's
And
not
it's a starting salary,
Exactly.
right? You know, if you're a lawyer, everybody knows you get bumps in your salary as you move through the ranks, and that's just a starting point. It doesn't mean she was only going to make 60 grand for the rest of her life.
I think there's a bigger problem here. I mean, 10 years and you still can't get a job. There might be something wrong with
Regular
that.
attitude, that's it.
And it's something about her.
Okay. We don't know. Anyway, it's going to be an interesting case to follow. All right, here's another. Since we're all on television, this seems appropriate. An on-air television contributor in Australia is responding to criticism from her personal manager that her outfits are too revealing. Okay, this is 24-year-old Jacinta Campbell wearing what she typically wears when she appears on Australia's Channel 9 Today Show. It's their version of our Today Show. She says her manager told her she can't wear those kind of tops on TV when discussing issues like racism and mental health. And her response was, why can't I show my, and I've cleaned this up a little, tatas and have an opinion? So is what she is wearing appropriate or not? Now, she's a contributor. She was, I believe, a beauty queen in her country. She comments mostly on beauty and fashion, things like that, but she also has a boyfriend who is, I think, an Aborigine. I think so, yeah. So sometimes she's asked to comment on race issues and stuff like that. Well, what do you think, though?
I think whatever she wants to wear in her personal life is fully her choice. But I think all of us that have worked in news and in television know that you don't just answer to yourself. You answer to a general manager, a station manager, a news director. And I know when I worked in Philadelphia, I wasn't allowed to wear sleeveless unless it was over a certain temperature.
Were you a contributor or were you
I was a reporter.
Yeah, but that's different. She didn't work for the station. She's brought in.
So she just comes in like
she comes in to talk about beauty issues mostly.
I don't think the same rules apply. I think the station has to have a certain image, and if she's going on that station, but we don't do that here. By the way, she comes to comment on fashion and style. That's exactly what I do, and I'm wearing long sleeves up to here, and you can be fashionable.
But yeah, you don't always wear long sleeves up to there.
You have your little back out, your little strap.
I have cutouts. I have very strategically placed cutouts because I think you can still be fashionable and on trend.
But I didn't think there was anything wrong with that dress that she had on. To me, that was fine.
I think that one's fine. I think it's stuff that goes a little lower.
Maybe she should just think about it. Obviously, maybe the manager's saying, you know, we want you to start being taken more seriously than just as a beauty queen. So maybe if you dress slightly differently, people will elevate you in their own eyes. A little gravitas,
If you're going to interview President Obama, you're probably not going to, show the
No, if I'm interviewing President Obama, my breast is there, okay? Okay, that's President Obama. I'm sorry, Michelle, but you know.
Wait.
Okay? No disrespect to First Lady Michelle Obama, but President Obama is fine. I definitely would have my goods. Like, how you doing, President Obama? Thank you.
I'm going to just pretend I didn't hear that. All right. All right, ladies, do you consider yourself feminists? Applaud if you do. Okay. Well, okay. If your answer is no, I do not, then Melissa McCarthy, the actress Melissa McCarthy, has some choice words for you. Ill-informed is one of them. The comedian told Redbook magazine that when she hears a woman say she doesn't classify herself as a feminist, she thinks, quote, that sounds so dumb, end quote. She thinks people have worked hard to put a negative spin on the word, and she wonders how women can't believe in equality because that's how she defines feminism, that it just means women are equal to men and deserve whatever men have, and that's it. So, having said that, And coming up in an age where feminism became a part of our vernacular, what do you all think? And I know you're dying to eat.
Yeah, I'm done.
I know you are.
And I've done for some reason, I keep doing these feminist comedy shows, and I say that I'm not a feminist because here's the thing. Equality, yes, right? But sort of feminism comes into this thing of where you have women who are feminists and say, you know what, I don't want a guy subjecting me. Don't talk about my body. Don't do these. Don't. And some of it for me is like, I can't say that I'm a feminist because I like when a guy whistles at me and subjects my body and says certain things.
I'm a feminist and I love a whistle.
Yeah.
I would die to have a whistle.
You like that doesn't
I would die.
You have feminists who do say, don't.
Yeah, but the idea of feminism is that you say whatever the hell you want to say. That's what it is. As a woman, you say what you want. You believe what you want.
I don't think that I'm a feminist. And that's no disrespect to Melissa McCarthy.
Yamanika,
No, I love that idea.
Yamanika, I think part of the problem was when this whole movement began, feminist movement began, it was very radical.
Right.
It was seen as radical, and a lot of the voices were radical. So that is the backlash that comes with it.
That's
where
what
people
makes
just assume, oh, you hate men.
Right.
Because that was
It's
what
become a
people
nasty
heard.
word.
And it's really not that at all.
And I think it's on
just
both.
equality.
And probably my interpretation of what I understand is from the people that I see who are very vocal about when I say certain things. So I think maybe the agenda has kind of gotten all over the place. And if it's about equality and women being equal, I'm all for that. But don't tell me that I can't have a guy whistle at me and be proud of my feminine wiles. And, you know,
Listen, I'm very proud to be a feminist.
I agree with all of the
Lance.
above.